Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's go now to market drivers. Christine Aquino, the managing editor for Bloomberg Markets Live, is here with us for our market drivers. And it's an M&A Monday, Christine.
It's an M&A Monday, Scarlett. How about we start with Kenvue over here? So Kenvue, ticker KVUE. This is the maker of Tylenol, and their shares are whopping today, up 17% from the open. And that is because there is a deal that Kimberly-Clark will be buying the company for $40 billion. And so the combination of both of these companies creates a company with $32 billion in revenue. And that makes them the second biggest seller of health and wellness products after Procter and Gamble. So This is a monster deal. Kenvue shareholders will get $3.50 per share in cash. And so, a lot of analysts weighing in, our own Bloomberg Intelligence's Diana Gomez and Daria Lima, saying that this really just reinforces the view that Kenvue was in need of big investment. And, if they were going to do that on their own, that meant that they were going to have to sacrifice midterm profit. But now we have Kimberly-Clark swooping in and providing some fresh capital in here and hopefully helping them to really improve their sales.
Yeah, but look at the stock of Kimberly-Clark. It's down 12% today on the news. This suggests to me that the street's saying, what? I mean, A, did you overpay? B, maybe not as many synergies as that you're suggesting. But you don't like to see that.
But that's typical for an acquiring company for the stock to go down.
It seems a little bit more. If I were the banker, I would say to expect a 5 or 6 or 7%.
I see.
This
it's
seems
the scope of the decline.
Speaking of bankers, JP Morgan and PJT Partners were advising the acquirer, and Centerview Partners and Goldman Sachs advising Kenvue. So bankers getting paid. That's what I like to see. What else you got?
Let's take a look at Amazon, shall we, Paul? So Amazon, ticker AMZN, another winner this morning. Shares are up more than 4%. And of course, that is because of their deal, Amazon Web Services deal with OpenAI, the ChatGPT maker. They're going to be providing hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA GPUs, graphic processing units, as part of a 7-year deal worth $38 billion. So, AWS was actually a bit of a laggard in this space. They've kind of stepped back, but now they're joining the ranks of companies that are building or retrofitting data centers to back OpenAI. And so we actually got Bloomberg Intelligence's Mandeep Singh and Robert Bigger kind of weighing in on the deal. $38 billion over 7 years. Sounds big, but it's actually smaller than a lot of other OpenAI's compute deals. It's about 6 to 8 times smaller than the deals that they have with Microsoft and Oracle. So there's definitely room for that to grow.
Context matters.
Exactly. And so, lots of room there, especially because AWS is a leader in this space. And from OpenAI's perspective, it seems like this is them really seeking to diversify their computing power, right? Because they already have deals with Microsoft, Oracle, but then they really want a broad base of support for this so that they can bolster their advantage over other LLMs.
And to your point, who has OpenAI not signed a deal with at this point, right? Microsoft, yes. Oracle, yes. Alphabet, yes. CoreWeave, yes. Who's left?
Who's funding these guys?
Sam Altman has been traveling the world looking for investors.
All right.
Well, Christmas comes early for all of these.
Love to see that capital structure there.
Last one that you're watching.
Well, another AI related stock.
Of course.
So we're looking at IREN, so ticker IREN. Those shares are up 19%, so extending those gains from the open. So, okay, get this. IREN, it's a renewable energy company based in Sydney. They mostly have Australian clients, but they are listed in the US. And now they just signed a deal with Microsoft for $9.7 billion. And IREN's going to be providing AI computing power. And so now Microsoft is their biggest customer. And so this is going to be providing access to their Texas-based centers. Microsoft will get access to that, and they're specially built for AI workloads. The deal also includes a 20% prepayment, so they got a lot of that cash up front. And then, of course, the other winner in this deal is Dell, because IREN has agreed to buy the necessary chips to be able to deliver on this deal from Dell for $5.8 billion. So everyone is a winner in this deal.
Does it feel a little bit like 2000?
No, because again, these companies have real earnings, real cash flows.
Real
the
businesses.
The stuff I was selling back in 98, 99, nothing. It was
eyeballs. That's what they're counting on.
They were potential eyeballs. So this is different, but these circular deals are to me, they're concerning. And Bloomberg News had a piece out maybe a week ago with a tremendous graphic that just shows how these deals work, because I've lost track.
It's arrows pointing to one another. It's like concentric
exactly.
circles gone amok.
And it seems like the circle is broadening too, like a little bit more bigger each day with new companies involved.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.